on ME, manufacturing excellence. And then little bit we will see like what are the benchmarks. Yeah. Now, when we say global trend, how it is shaping, like when we see global trends, how it is shaping manufacturing, because a lot of trends are happening. We have seen since morning, we have heard a lot of things, how the fashion is growing. When fashion is growing, then like it's not only right quality, rather affordable cost also, and our order sizes are becoming smaller. It's a fast launch, faster lead time, flexibility in the supply chain, how your resources can be developed, maybe small orders of fabric, yarn, then trims, and the strong emphasis are coming on the sustainability, whether we say like compliances, sustainability of carbon rating, water, material, energy, a lot of things are coming up. So how like all these things have to be taken care. Now, when this is the requirement as a global trend, so what buyer is looking for? Buyer is looking for like reduced lead time, on-time delivery. For this, they need robust planning and supply chain management, balanced production flow. Secondly, they are looking for optimum or the best quality at the minimum cost. So it means like a lot of focus is on the quality management, productivity management, which can result into lower manufacturing cost. Next is flexibility in manufacturing. We see like how trend is coming up. The orders are becoming smaller and smaller. It is going towards high fashion. The order size is smaller, more designs, more product development, which is costing more, which is reducing the efficiencies as well. Next is compliance sustainability. They are looking for green factories, a lot of other compliances, and buyer labor laws. Then buyer supply integration. How I can get an integrated, units where I can get fiber to fashion everything in one place, because they don't want to go to separate places. Now, this is the like after this, what are the challenges we are facing? When we talk about especially any part of India or different factories, a lot of challenges we are facing. We are dividing these challenges into two parts. One is external, second is internal. What are the internal challenges? Like I have jotted down few challenges which is very practical and everybody understand. Shortfall of trained middle management, skilled workforce is not available or shortage, inefficient layout, more transportation, lack of basic automation, inefficient systems and processes, which is the internal. When I say internal, it means it can be managed by the company, may have different constraints, but it is internal issues. External, like wages, like cost, salary cost, which is not in our control, which is the major component of garment manufacturing cost. 70 to 80% cost is decided by wages and salaries. Then raw material cost is increasing, more number of styles, lesser orders. It means it is resulting into lower efficiencies. Growing competition from other nations like Vietnam, Bangladesh, Cambodia, the competition increasing. All these factors are ultimately resulting into increasing the manufacturing cost. Now, how we should decide what we can do? Manufacturing excellence, ME, is the only key to address these buyer demand and challenges. How? When we talk about like manufacturing excellence, then we have to be excellent in different fields, because when we talk about different type of wastages, different type of wastage can be any, maybe aid waste or some different efficiencies. We talk about, if we overcome those losses, then only we talk about manufacturing excellence. I'm dividing these into 5 parts. One is planning, operation reengineering, systems and processes, skill development, and IT integration. Ultimately, these factors are there. If we focus on these factors, this will produce manufacturing excellence. Then the quality can be improved, productivity can be improved, on-time delivery, in full, cost optimization. Ultimately, our cost will reduce and we can give a right product to the buyer. Let's talk about planning. When we say planning, because planning is a key. If you ask me, like this is a major focus required, especially when we talk about OGT's factories or other smaller plant. This planning plays very, very important role. When we, it is not only order planning or just putting like all the orders in one Excel sheet and give to the factory. It is beyond, because planning means how we are making demand forecasting, internal coordination, changeover planning. Because changeover planning is the key when we are going to high fashion. then every line is having change, maybe in 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, a lot of changeovers are happening. How the planning to be done for the changeover, capacity balancing, line balancing, using how we use the MIS reports for decision making. A lot of factors are coming in the planning stage, which can be really for pre-production activities, for changeover activity, which can be controlled through right planning. So benefit can be like, again, shorter lead time can be reduced, WIPs can be reduced in the factory, stock optimization, maximize utilization, OTIF can be improved, on time in full. Those are the factors which is directly required by any buyer. This is about planning. And let me take next point. Is a major part coming to operation reengineering, because planning, after planning, our factory, our company, how can be really re-engineered to maximize the performance, which is a real and very important part of ME. When we talk about operation re-engineering, we can divide into multiple parts. The first part can be related to production directly, which is industry engineering. Now, whenever new factories we are talking about, it is basically based on industry engineering functions. When we say I functions are not merely to make the efficiency report or different reports. I functions are to create a difference in the operation. Like I have given few examples, quick changeover, how the quick changeover should work. When we say changeover time, like from zero production to the peak production, how much loss is happening. This is, I have discussed earlier also in this session, but this is very, very important part. Method improvements, operation standardization, NPT, non-productive time. So these are the major part of the I department, which really can focus to improve the efficiencies. Second major part, which sometimes is ignorant, but I've seen, the quality management system. Quality management again is very, very important. I have few examples which I have visited recently. Because of quality issues, you are not able to produce the goods. When we talk about quality, then different defects, DHUs are coming up. Sometime in the swing, 15-20% DHUs are there, which is really, if your DHU rate is high, your quality is not under control, then you cannot produce the right good, and your efficiency will be lower. It will make a big losses. So we can divide, we can give some examples here. Quality at source, whether it's a cutting, whether it's a swing, whether it's a needle point. Quality at source, physical defect monitoring. Sometimes reports are being prepared, but actual physical defects are much higher. So physical defects monitoring tool can be very helpful. WIP minimization, if you keep lesser WIP, lesser defects will be generated. We have seen a few factories where only stains are coming 6 to 8%, 10%. If stains are so high, rejections will be much higher. Repairing will be much higher. Traceability system can be improved if WIP is reduced. I mean, quality management system is a key part when we talk about operation reengineering. Then we can talk about higher performance layout, how your within department, how linking is done, because it's a multiple departments are there, from fabric to cutting to fusing to like sewing, finishing, embroidery, printing. A lot of aspects can be there. So these departments, how transportation waste have to be reduced. So this is again a very important factor where really your MMR have to be controlled, your helpers have to be controlled, and how the material can be available for the next department. So high performance layout is very, very important tool, which is a part of operation engineering. Then last point comes technology advancement. It's very wide subject. Again, when we talk about technology, like how one is technology of machines, like garmenting technology. We talk about maybe cutting, maybe sewing, maybe finishing, how automation can play a part. Second is ERP software. ERP software, again, like for your traceability, for quick decision making, that can become a very important part. We'll discuss a little bit in detail now. Once your reengineering is like have play important role, then the SOPs, system standardized operating procedures, how operating procedures are being developed, because development of SOPs are a one part, because whether it's a merchandising, whether it's order planning, manufacturing operations, cutting, sewing, finishing, quality, metal movement, every SOP have to be standardized. Once SOP is standardized, generally people complain it is not sustainable. We have to make it sustainable by 3 steps. One is developing the SOPs, then how you monitor it, how regular audits are being done, maybe weekly basis, maybe like twice in a month or so, the how continuous monitoring is being done so that system will sustain. And once, third step is very important, if your product mix changes, if any new things come, how you are upgrading your SOP. Upgrading the SOP is again a key part. Then again, sustenance, we will go to regular audits and the SOP upgrades. It's a continuous process. It's a loop. By these, we can streamline our operation. We can have a quick response for any issue, and it will help us in higher productivity levels. The next point is like skill development. Skill, I am bifurcating here in two parts. Part A is for operator skill. Second part is for the middle management. Generally, again, it's a mixed feedback, because many people talk about worker skill. But now what we have seen, more than worker skill, is the middle management skill. How your supervisors are working, how your staff is working, how in charges are being placed, how the QAs are being placed, how QAs, QCs are being given the responsibility, with the IE department, with the technical department. So those middle management is not only technical aspect, it is more towards the soft skill. How soft skills are being generated, how they're being motivated. Because when we are coming, if we are highly motivated, we can do better. We can have 20-30% extra enthusiasm, and we can bring better efficiency, we can bring better quality, we can work. I mean, ultimately, we have we understand skill development with the soft skill is a very, very important aspect from worker level and the management level. Then let's talk about IT integration, which is very important for process control and traceability. So traceability again is very, very important. Like we make MIS. So MIS, how it is auto-generated. When we talk about maximum more factories, then it is very difficult to collect the data. How the data have to be collected. So first is challenge in the factories are manual operation, manual entries, and then once you manual, then more manipulations are there. It is very difficult to get a true feedback. If we get a true feedback, it takes a longer time. For example, now I need some production data, I need some line balancing data. It is taking longer time. By the time your output has gone, your losses has gone. So IT will help in better MIS, better resource planning, how the resource planning can be improved, how the machine balancing, worker balancing, staff, all these balancing can be done. So this data monitoring, the real-time information, data collection, its analysis, and the insights are very, very important tool as far as IT integrations are concerned. It is very helpful tool. And now when we talk about 4.0, it has become necessity now. When we talk about like we want to have a bigger setup, bigger machines, bigger units, then more and more we are growing, the more requirement is coming with the IT integration now. Now, after this excellence, when we talk about garment industry, what the current levels and desired benchmarks, just I want to highlight a little bit here. Because what industry average, what we talk about efficiencies are 40 to 45%, cut to ship is even 94 to 96% in many factories. How can be on time in full is 70 to 80%. Sweet DH is much higher, we discussed already. MMR is much higher, man to machine ratio. Like PCD achievement is, all these are the key factors which are really hurting. And if you want to be a healthy factory, healthy level, then can be 55, 60, 65% efficiency. Even for the basic product in Bangladesh, Vietnam, we talk about, we are achieving 75 to 80% efficiencies, but different points are there. Like maybe product mix is different, order quantities are different, styles are different, fabric types are, it is depending on a lot of factors, which is really helpful. And I mean, if we talk about ME, manufacturing excellence, and we really focus on these areas, then definitely if we can achieve these levels, 20 to 30% manufacturing cost can be reduced. So these are strength in manufacturing excellence. If we focus on individual point, maybe we talk about industry engineering, we talk about quality management, we talk about softwares. If we focus on these area, definitely every factory may have a different lacuna. It is not necessary every factory have this one, but some of the points can be taken up from different factory. And if we should if we focus on this area, then definitely 20-30% impact can be brought. I mean, this is all about manufacturing excellence. If anybody have any question or any query, I can take it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Surender. Very, very concise, short and sweet presentation. And I'm happy that you finished within time and all data packed. So really appreciate your powerful presentation. And let's see if there are some questions on this.
Thank you, Ramesh, and I will wait for your questions.
Right now, I cannot see any questions. So if anybody wants to send in their questions, they may do so now.
And this presentation of Surender can be shared with all the members once the conference is over.
It will be
Sure.
shared.
Mhm.
And I'd like to take up this opportunity to thank our esteemed speaker, Mr. Jain. It was a wonderful and enriching presentation. And like Mr. Saxena said, full of facts and full of figures, what is expected and how the factories can be future ready if we are to reach that $50 billion goal of exports. So actually, I had a query. So if you may answer.
Sure.
What are the kind of job roles and skills like which you see are not really there and which we need in order to get our factories to 4.0 and industry to the next level?
See, now, as far as skills are concerned, it's very versatile subject. Like, we have to divide skills into different parts. Because when we talk about worker skill, is a different subject, especially for like how we want to build a culture actually. Like we go to many factories and people are talk about, like, let's take the piece rate people, and which is the easier efforts, it's a lesser management. And then we talk about skill level, because the more important is to build the culture in the factory. Culture will give you, I am doing some projects right now where skills are very good, but efficiency are very poor because of poor quality management. It is not only skill. As far as workers are concerned, it's a culture, how you brought a right culture in the company to produce the right goods. Only by making focus on the right quality, you can improve by 10% efficiency. Number one. Number two, as far as second level is supervisory level, skill level. Because we speak lesser about supervisory and middle management. Because I have discussed in last year and versus, different time also, more important than worker level is the supervisory level. We go to units, we study a lot of data, and where really supervisor levels are missing, in charges are missing, or they are having traditional approach. The approach is we know everything. They don't learn. Your learning is the key. Like again, I emphasize always, and in my all the projects, we should focus first in our middle management. And middle management, I am one. Middle management can be 15 number. Those can train 5,000 people. If we start training 5,000 people, it might take longer time. We might not be ending up, at the last point. So training the middle management with the right skill, maybe QC, roving QC, maybe your endline QC, maybe your operators, maybe your I people, maybe your reporting people. Different trainings are required so that they can perform better. And once they take the responsibility, they can focus more with their workers. I mean, this is the correlation we have to develop. I hope I give the answer to your query.
Yes, thank you. Yes, you did. Actually, most of the students join at the middle management level, and
Right.
we should know what is expected out of them. And
Viva, you might need him to come to your college and probably have a session with your students.
yes, we would love to have you in our college.
You are most welcome. Like I love to come.
Work. It's really, it would be an inspiring session for our students, and we would love to have you also, Mr. Saxena. It would be a pleasure to have you on our college, a webinar or something we can arrange that would be highly beneficial for the students.
Sure, whenever there's an opportunity, we'll come.
Yes.
Maybe I'll join Surender.
Oh, sure, sir. You are most welcome. I love to come there, and definitely like we go sometime only for interview. Otherwise, we don't go there more. And really like it's a need. The industry is required, because when we take the people, sometimes we don't feel good, because these things are missing somewhere. Some link is missing.
Yes, some link.
We want to spend some time so that they have to be only like more practical aspect.
Yes.
Like when we discuss, really we are taking the factories, like you understand, and very basics are missing. We study very high-fi things, not required. You know what I mean? Because 80-90% only basics have to be correct. And in the factories, basics are not there.
Yeah.
For example, we make some software, we make some, on the floor. So data is coming up, the basics are missing.
Yeah.
Like maybe productivity, maybe line balancing, maybe eye technique, maybe quality techniques, maybe like feeding, how the feeding to happen, what losses are happening, how the NPT is happening. These are very basics of any common sense, So we have to focus on those areas Like
Mhm.
training, like Viva asked about training, skill level. So skill level is different at different level.
Yeah.
So what are the difference and how to create those things so that it will put a direct impact on the factory, on the operation. So those are the needs are, and I if whenever chance comes and time permits, that definitely I would like to come and share my thoughts.
So thank you, Surender, once again. And Vibha, I think now the concluding session must be starting now.
Yes. So
So we have to quit. We have to
conclude our
quit this.
production session. Yes.
Ah.
So I thank our session chair and all our speakers and delegates for a wonderful session. And I now request you all to, I think the HR section session might still be on, so interested delegates can join there. Otherwise, please join us via the given link for the wrap-up.
Concluding session.
Yes,
Okay.
concluding
So
session.
thank you, Vibha, for hosting it so well, and all my session participants and speakers. And let's meet all of them in the concluding session again. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.